What does courage mean to you?
Means being brave in times that are hard.
Well, at school one time, I was playing on the playground and the recess bell rang, and then I started lining up and putting the ball away. Then the first one to open it, but it slammed back down on my finger. That Miss Turner saw that. So he took me down to the nurse, and then I waited and waited, and Miss Bailey told me that I was very brave, and she got me a nice pack. Then it went there. We started going to the room. Then we went to the room. Then she checked about my finger, and when she starting to take the paper thing off of my finger, it started hurting. So then she got a little tiny water bottle, and she started squirting some stuff on it. Then it opened up. The mom took a picture of it. That was weird. The nurse came, said that she might need stitches, but then they led me to this one place where they take pictures, and I asked if it would hurt, but it wouldn't. I got to go to my mom because she wouldn't be able to come in there. And then I was still crying a little tiny bit. She gave me a little teddy bear. I had to change into these clothes that had Pooh and the other guy, the tiger. He checked my finger, and I asked if it would hurt. It kind of did hurt a little, but since I was actually kind of scared, he asked for these two other people to come, so he left. And then these two other people came since I was so scared. I had to fall asleep because there was a shot that made me fall asleep because I was scared that it would have hurted really bad if it did, but there was another shot that it gave me first that it made it not hurt. I was still scared. I woke up. After that, they put me in something, and then they gave me some water, and they put something on my finger to make it not hurt anymore. And well, after that, we went into this room. By it, pretty much, I changed into my normal clothes. I got out of the trailer. Then we went to the car and started driving back home, and that was it.
I would say that courage is living up to what you believe in. Someone once said it's easy to die for what you believe in, but it's harder to live for what you believe in. And so, as someone very smart once said, it's the small and little things that add up to great things. And so by living those small everyday things that may seem small, we're being courageous by standing for what we believe.
I have to deal with my dogs and ride my dirt bike.
I hope that I've done all the things that Heavenly Father has asked me to do that have been really hard, hoping that I would have the faith and to follow through with the things that He's asked me to do.
What does courage mean to you?
Courage is going to school every day.
Courage is when you're afraid of something and when you do it anyway. Like, let's see. Take the story of Esther from the Bible. She was a girl. So her family was gonna get killed, and her relatives told her, say, you gotta help us, okay? We're gonna die. You gotta help us. You gotta tell the king. So it took her a couple times, but Esther finally told the king, and that took courage for her, because usually when you can't just go to the king and say, hey, I need you to do this for me. So that took courage for her. And it was hard.
About 7 years ago, when we were at pilot training for my husband, a bunch of the ladies got together for just a ladies' night, because you need those occasionally. And they were all drinking wine and having stuff, and I don't believe in drinking, and so I had my water, and then they wanted to watch a movie. And so all the movies that they brought out were rated R, and I don't watch rated R movies either. And I was really nervous because I've never come across this where I had to tell my friends that I don't watch rated R movies. And so I finally just kind of said, I don't watch rated R movies, do you have other choices? And at first I was a little embarrassed, thinking they're going to think I'm crazy because we're all these adults. And they didn't. They were really cool about it and said, oh, no problem. And we got out a whole other selection and was able to watch a movie that was okay for me to watch.
When somebody else stands up for another person to do what's right?
I think it's just a synonym kind of for bravery.
So, a time that I feel like I've shown courage is during one of our football games this year. One of the kids from the other team had gotten injured. So, as usual, all the teammates got on the side and we took a knee out of respect. Everyone started, getting kind of impatient, waiting for the paramedic, and even people on the team of the guy that got injured started standing up and walking away. And all my friends kept saying to me, "Come on, Noah, it's not worth it, just come over, we'll start warming up again." But even though everyone was trying to persuade me to do otherwise, I stuck with what I knew was right. And I even went against what my friends were telling me to do, which can be extremely hard. And I was there, showing my respect. And in this moment, I had to use quite a bit of courage, because at this moment, even my coaches, who should know to be continually to show respect, I was there, kneeling alone, and until the paramedic was there and took him away.
I haven't done anything to show courage.
Okay, tell us what courage is, though. What is courage?
Skydiving.
Courage is being brave and standing up for the people that you love, because so that they don't make mistakes.
What is an example of courage?
An example of courage would have to be standing up for what you believe is right when not everyone, when that maybe is not the popular decision or the way things are going around you. Standing up for the right thing.
Stand up for what's right.
Integrity means that I would do the same thing in the privacy of my own home that I would do out in someone else.
I think of integrity. I think of having the courage to always do what is right, no matter what the consequences are.
Well, what I have done to show integrity was when I first came back to my unit, there was an individual that told me he knew that I didn't drink and that I didn't party and all those things. And I knew what was supposed to be right, because to me that's what integrity is, doing the right, even though no one else is necessarily doing it, even though you know what's right. So he told me that I needed to compromise my moral values in order to that I believe in, and eventually came to the conclusion. I said no, I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna be the best person that I can be, no matter what anyone else says. So to me, that's what integrity.
Consistently being true to yourself. There's a saying that I like that goes something to the effect of, "By small and simple things are great things brought to pass." And I feel like that epitomizes what integrity is, because it's not just, integrity isn't just one action that you can make that brings integrity, but it's everything you do, your actions and your thoughts, and how you develop your character is what integrity is, and that is what brings about great things.
Integrity means to me just being honest, loyal, hardworking, having faith, and just being true to your family, I guess.
I read this book called Simplify, and there was a chapter on integrity, and it had these two circles about your actions and what you say you believe, and how if you have integrity, they align. And one of the examples they gave was if you, like, say you don't believe in stealing, but you have burned CDs of music or movies. And when I read that part in the book, I thought immediately, oh my gosh, I do have a CD that somebody burned for me, and I didn't pay for that music. And I thought, that doesn't align with my, with what I say I believe about integrity. And so I went home and looked through my CD stash to make sure that I had integrity with my actions, with making sure I didn't steal things.
Integrity is holding true to what's right, what you believe, and sticking to it and never wavering from it.
Doing what's right, even though I'm told to do something other than what's right.
Integrity to me means doing things the right way when no one is looking, not living both sides of the tracks, to say, holding yourself accountable and making sure you do the right thing based on what's in your heart and not what other people say is the right thing to do.
Integrity means that I would do the same thing in the privacy of my own home that I would do out in front of others.
Integrity to me means